Good morning. Good morning, Chairman, for your introduction. I first of all like to thank organizing committee for inviting me to this wonderful meeting. And I like to present some of our contribution to AIS basic research. I'm a clinician, but I'm highly interested in basic research for adolescent idiopathic scoliosis. So this is the hospital where I'm working for, Zhonghao Hospital in Nanjing. Zhonghao means it's a historical town built 700 years ago. So our hospital was built just behind the Zhonghao. So that's why our hospital was called the Zhonghao Hospital. So this is our hospital. In a very quick introduction, our hospital, our orthopedic department, we have 310 beds, of which 142 for spine surgery. In the last year, we have 200,000 consultation and 9,100 orthopedic surgery. We have roughly 50 surgeons, and last year, on average, we operated on average 650 cases of scoliosis per year. And why so many cases we operate on? Because of a larger population in China. You see, we still have 3 million scoliosis waiting for treatment. So some visiting surgeon call us large kingdom of scoliosis in the world. So now, in your hands, in my hands, it's not difficult to treat this scoliosis. Not possible for this, but also for this. However, we have a very limited knowledge about etiology of idiopathic scoliosis. During the last 45 years, before 2015, there are roughly 900 published articles in the world on the basic research of AIS. 130 articles from China, and of which 80% of these published by our team in the Hong Kong team. We set up a joint research center with Chinese Hong Kong University. And many of the basic research are focused on genetic study. So there is no consensus regarding etiology of AIS, but we do have some theories on the etiology, including genetic contribution, central nervous system involved, abnormal general growth disturbance, etc. In literature, say the incidence of AIS in an AIS family reaches nearly 11%, compared to only 1 or 2% for normal population. This indicates there is a higher genetic contribution to AIS, but we don't know the mode of inheritance. We collected nearly 30 pair of the twins. So I show you some scoliosis pattern for this patient. These are twins with the same curve pattern. And according to our clinical observation, we found this patient has early menarche and a very low BMR. Here's another pair of twins with a different curve pattern. And here again with a different, nearly the same curve pattern, but with different curve severity. And very interesting. Okay, look, twins with a Milo curve pattern, very similar curve pattern, but one is left side, another is right side. Here's two patients with a different curve problem. One corresponds very well to bracing treatment, but another one fails to bracing treatment. And also we found the longitudinal family history for AIS. This is a brother. On the below is a brother AIS, and on the top is just very similar curve pattern. And also we found some cousins with the same curve pattern. And here's another cousins with a different curve pattern. and with different co-pattern and with different progression. Here's one is progressive and another is not. And we also find two generations with AIS. On the left side, it's a mother, and on the right side is a father. In only even 3 generations with AIS. So till last year, we were able to identify nearly 30 susceptible genes responsible AIS. And several years ago, when we participated in a multi-center study, GWAS study with a Japanese team, we were able to identify first LBX1 gene responsible for AIS, and 2 years later, we were able to identify other 2 genes responsible for AIS. And we finished our own Chinese GWAS study several years ago, published in Nature Communication, and we collected nearly 10,000 blood examples, and we were able to identify 3 novel loci which are responsible for Chinese AIS. The second study, our GWAS study, shows other 3 new genes responsible for AIS. What's the clinical relevance for this gene study? And we used gene polymorphism. That means for the patient with bracing treatment, we analyzed the gene polymorphism. We found ERA and THR1 gene may be used as a potential genetic markers predicting outcomes of brace treatment. And we did a validation study for scoliosis score. Scoliosis score is to be used for predict the incidence of AIS and curve progression. It was commercialized by American company. We did a validation study, but unfortunately, our validation study didn't prove score risk. It is used for Chinese AIS population. And the latest Japanese study and European study also, they were not able to validate this study. So I think that this product has been withdrawn from the market. So the further conclusion is AIS may be complex genetic disorder caused by interaction between genetic and environmental factors. AIS carrier can be divided into two types. One is a predisposition gene and disease modifying gene. Important clinical observation for these patients is AIS patients, they are very thin and very tall. So what's the genetic background for this clinical finding? We found we found in Chinese AIS patients they have a delayed menarche. In our study on radius dimension ratio, that means the diameter of a radius over length, we found this. It is a significant law in AIS patients, and again, highly correlated with curve severity. This means in AIS patients there exists accelerated systematic annual control ossification. And another finding is asymmetrical spine growth. It has long been documented in literature, but it is very controversial. It's a primary change or it's a secondary change. We found asymmetrical spine growth exists not only in AIS patients but also in other types of the scoliosis, such as KLE-associated scoliosis. So we conclude asymmetrical spine growth is not a primary cause. It's a secondary change in AIS patient. And also we found there is a disproportional growth between anterior and posterior column. Disproportional growth between anterior and posterior column, it was considered as a primary change, but we found it exists also in KLE-associated scoliosis. So we conclude it's not a primary change, it's a secondary change. It's a secondary change. So very quickly. So the third part is endocrine and metabolism are highly involved in AIS patients, particularly in low BMI. The AIS patient has a low BMD and a low BMI. We found the overexpression of the lancoin in osteoblasts in AIS patient may be responsible for low BMD in AIS patient. And the normal expression of the RCOST2 may play an important role in reduce the BMD in AIS. Another original finding of our study is low leptin level in AIS. This is our original finding. But some of the patients, they don't have a normal leptin level. We found they have at a normal leptin bioavailability in AIS patients. This may play an important role in etiology of osteoporosis in AIS patients. So one clinical question is for low BMD in AIS patients, maybe someone say it's related to the limited physical activity due to breathing, for instance, due to the breathing. Our study shows no, it is not related to the breathing. It is a pulmonary change of the AIS patient. And the nervous system may be involved in etiology of the AIS patient. Some studies they shows the disproportional growth between the spinal column and the subcolumn may be responsible for initiation of the scoliosis. But we found the position of the cornus medullaris in AIS patients is nearly as the same as a normal population. So we deny this theory. And some of the patients presented with Chiari malformation or single myelin. Our original finding is denervation of the paraspinal muscles is present in some patients with scoliosis. So this is our first study. So I come to my conclusion. So for this study, particular genetic study, we need a big volume of scoliosis patients. So functionally, because as you know, because of a larger population in China, so this makes it possible to do some basic research. We have 4,000 new patients each year and 108 new bleeding cases in more than 600 operated cases. We have some database, example database, DNA, and also we have a clinical database for operated patients. So far, we operated already more than 10,000 scoliosis during the last 21 years. Thank you.